stage.
And we're good to go.
Okay, good afternoon. This is a meeting of the Massachusetts, I'm just adjusting here, my apologies. A meeting of the Massachusetts Gaming Commission. And we are meeting virtually, so I'll do our roll call. Good afternoon, Commissioner O'Brien.
Good afternoon, I'm here.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Hill.
Good afternoon, I'm here.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Skinner.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Maynard.
Good afternoon.
Okay. As we have done in the past with an adjudicatory hearing, it is a more formal process, and I am asked to read into the record opening remarks. This is Wednesday, February 14th, 2024. It's an adjudicatory hearing before the Massachusetts Gaming Commission relative to the alleged non-compliance of Crown MA Gaming LLC doing business as DraftKings with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 23N, Section 13D, 205 CMR 24707, subsection 7, and 205 CMR 248.10, subsection 3. I'll be referring to Crown MA Gaming LLC as DraftKings. My name is Kathy Judd-Stein, and I'm chair of the commission. As you can see from our roll call, I'm joined today by my colleagues, Commissioners Eileen O'Brien, Brad Hill, Nikisha Skinner, and Jordan Maynard. The entire commission will preside over the hearing and decision of this matter. This hearing will be conducted in accordance with 205 CMA 101.01, Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Sections 10 and 11, and 801 CMR 1.02, Informal Fair Hearing Rules. This hearing is being conducted via remote collaboration technology, as I've indicated. Before we begin, I'm going to turn to our Deputy General Counsel, Justin Stempeck, concerning process in light of new evidence we received yesterday from DraftKings, as it may determine how we move forward today.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, just for the benefit of everyone on the meeting, yesterday we received notification from DraftKings that there were two additional events of non-compliance where credit card funds were used in Massachusetts. One took place in the August and September time period. The other was January, just a month ago or so. In light of this additional evidence, which has been included as exhibits referenced by incident report and I think a letter that DraftKings provided, we wanted to sort of establish what options for process moving forward would be for the commissioners so that you may discuss and determine how you'd like to proceed. Essentially, there are two options at this juncture. The first option would be to move forward today to go and take in all of the evidence and testimony that everyone here is prepared and able to give, to get essentially as far down the road as we can, while we know that there is going to be a further investigation, likely by our IEB internally, to look into the facts of these newly reported issues, and then we would have to suspend the hearing today and come back at a later date to review the results of that investigation and any additional information that comes to light. That could and may include additional testimony if it's relevant at that future date. So that's sort of option A. Option B would be, in light of this late-breaking evidence that we got yesterday afternoon, would be that if the commissioners were more comfortable waiting for IEB to conduct that investigation, to have the full set of facts from this most recent incident, and have everything in front of them, we could take that into consideration and reschedule this so that we would be addressing everything in one fell swoop, so that we would have full investigation of all areas for a future hearing date. So those are the sort of the two options as the legal department sees them, Madam Chair, and it would be up to the commissioners to decide how to proceed with those two options being on the table.
Commissioners, I'll start with Commissioner Maynard. What are you thinking in terms of being positioned to move forward today?
Thank you, Madam Chair. In light of this piece of evidence and what I've seen and reviewed in the record, I would think that it makes more sense to make sure that we just put this to bed at one time. I don't think it's in the best interest of our licensee even to, continue to come in and do this over and over and over again. Just get it done in one time. So I would think we should have the IEB do a full-throated investigation that may include more than what we see here, and then have a meeting that's more convenient for everyone.
Okay, Commissioner Skinner.
Thank you, Chair. I support what Commissioner Maynard is saying relative to postponing this so that we can deal with everything all at once. In particular, I'm also hoping, along with IEB's continued investigation, that we understand from the operator and have assurances that this is the extent of it. It is troubling that, we first learned about this issue about a year ago, almost a year ago. And over the course of the year, there have just been new and frequent developments. So I want to be assured that we are having all the facts before us at once so that we can consider them at the same time rather than doing this piecemeal.
Commissioner Hill.
I agree with both Commissioner Skinner and Commissioner Maynard with their comments.
And Commissioner O'Brien.
Yeah, I mean, as a matter of investigations, I think it should all be done at the same time. I've had I have an interest in other efforts made by IB in terms of going back and looking at this trifecta, which is making sure they've actually done interviews of the recipient witnesses in terms of the people that were on the list. Abigail Allen, who I don't know who that is, but is part of the email trails, getting Slack messages of what was going on exactly, and whether or not part of that investigation should involve our IT group to truly understand what happened and measures going forward. So I think it should be referred back to IEB for a fulsome investigation. And I question whether we should be pulling in anybody from IT to help in that regard as well.
Justin, to Commissioner O'Brien's last point, and I'll turn to Director Monahan as well. How may we pull in IT in the investigation at this juncture?
Madam Chair, if we plan to postpone the hearing, I mean, the evidentiary record is not set in light of the fact that we just introduced new evidence as of yesterday. So if we need to supplement the witness list, we need to supplement the exhibit list, we need to do additional investigation, those will all be additional materials that would be just added to the exhibit list and the witness list. So this is not closed and sealed. In light of the information we received yesterday, we have full discretion to add in additional exhibits or witnesses, in particular, as if we're going to be keeping this open and postponing to a future date.
And how about in terms of deploying, and I ask this without, in support of Commissioner O'Brien, I don't want you to think I'm challenging Commissioner O'Brien. Is there any concern about having IT deploy services at this juncture of the investigation to look to do then kind of assume some kind of an audit is what you're thinking, Commissioner O'Brien?
Yeah, bringing their expertise in to IEB's review of the facts surrounding these 3 statutory violations allegations.
Yeah, I want to make sure we're very clear as to what we're thinking IT's involvement is. Thank you.
It's providing technical assistance to IEB.
I would defer to IEB's judgment as to how that affects the investigation and the duration of the investigation, complexity, et cetera. I would defer to Director Monahan.
Director Monahan?
Excuse me. We'd be very happy to work with IT sort of as a technical assistance if we're going to do sort of further investigation into potentially the issues that we knew about as of yesterday and then the new issues that came into light yesterday. I would have to, in light of, potentially additional interviews and bringing IT in, I would have to ask CEC Kramer what her thoughts are on a timeline for moving forward with that.
I think we would need at least a few weeks if we're interviewing people. I can't speak for IT, but I would assume Katrina's team would also need some time, whether it's 3 to 4 weeks, to be able to conduct a wholesome review, as Commissioner O'Brien suggested. We're of course happy to do that, and assume DraftKings will assist us in facilitating that as efficiently as possible, so we can get this matter back to the Commission.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we have a clear consensus that we roll this over to a future date, and a future hearing, so that all of the evidence that will be put before us be really presented one deliberations. Really.
Madam Chair, I don't know if it's just me. I'm having trouble hearing you.
It's I have a very noisy office behind me. I'm sorry. We
Are you gesturing to me?
No, it's not. I don't know if you can hear, but I have such fans going on behind me all the time. I'll speak up. My apologies. I think that we've reached a consensus that we will roll this hearing over to an uncertain date right now. I know that Commissioner Skinner is really pointing out some degree of urgency for us to understand that the allegations of noncompliance have been fully mitigated. And so I think getting this in front of us sooner than later is important. I leave it now to IEB to do their job, and then for legal to coordinate with DraftKings. And we'll just stand ready for this hearing on this very critical matter. So with that, commissioners, I think we can actually conclude this adjudicatory hearing as opposed to keeping it open, correct, Justin? Because we haven't started any.
Yeah, I think that's fair, Madam Chair. We will work with IEB after they complete their investigation to send out and the parties and DraftKings to find a new date and send out a new notice once we have everything well in hand.
Okay, so thank you to everyone for showing up today. And at this point, we will conclude today's hearing. There doesn't have to be a motion. Just want to thank everybody for their time.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim.